Billy, why was now the right time to call up Álvarez?
Well, some of it was some of the circumstances that we're in. With Darren going on the IL, run a little short on right-handed bats. Francisco, since he's come back from his little ankle injury and after that treatment, has kind of put up the numbers that I think he was accustomed to. So the opportunity came, and here he is.
From the reports, what has been the difference since he came back from that injury?
He's felt more comfort. Whether it's been catching, whether it's been in the batter's box. He just hasn't felt that kind of pressure that I think he was feeling when he would, kind of compress his lower half in his swing. So I kind of freed him up to be able to be the version of himself, or the best version of himself, and here we are.
Billy, will he only DH while he's here?
I'm going to let Buck talk more about the usage and how he wants to kind of deploy the personnel, but I know that's what he's doing today.
You've got to decide a postseason roster. Is he auditioning now for a postseason roster too?
I mean, anybody that plays is making a case for themselves, but today's Friday. Focused on Friday. That's it. I'm not thinking about Saturday or Sunday right now.
Had you ever been seriously close to calling him up earlier this year with other injuries?
Once we moved him to AAA, I think a couple people here asked me some questions about him going to AAA, and that's where I really start to hone in on people and consider them all candidates. So everybody that's playing in AAA is a candidate, and we're watching them really close. That's our most readily available player pool, and so when he got to AAA, he could drive that, I'm really thankful that he communicated the discomfort that he was feeling in the ankle. Once he communicated that, we were able to step in and do something about it, so that happened, and he kind of took it from there himself.
Billy, you mentioned that ideally there's like a number of at-bats that you want to see from a guy in his development range to make him ready. I don't know if there was something specific that you saw in him. You mentioned his comfort level, but how much does the situation up here kind of change the dynamic of that? I don't know if patience is the right word, but you guys had needs that he could help with, obviously. So that seemed like it not forced your hand, but
yeah, I mean, we got into a circumstance here where we had a need, and he's been, checking the boxes on what we need developmentally. So we gave him the opportunity.
Billy, I know this is probably about his skill, but just the intangible part. He's 20 years old in a big spot here. How much did that kind of factor into it? His personality, the way that he would handle the situation? Yeah, I mean, it's something that we talk about. It's something that I talk about with Buck, the rest of the coaching staff, a number of the people in our major league operations, some of our development personnel. So, we source that and have those kind of conversations, everybody was in favor of this one, so we did it.
When you got this job, what were the first things that people told you about Francisco?
They said, watch the coachability, watch the enthusiasm, watch how he takes instruction, were some of the things that I heard from the intangible standpoint. Watch how he competes, too.
Billy, do you think you or someone else needs to say to him, don't try to play hero ball the last week trying to make a postseason roster?
I don't think that needs to be said. That doesn't mean it won't be. But I think that, knowing my history with Buck, knowing some of our coaching personnel, I think that, just taking a pitch-by-pitch mentality will be the approach that he takes just naturally. So whether it's reinforced, I'm sure somebody will say it.
How long had Ruff's neck been bothering him?
I first heard about it on, what's today, Friday? I first heard about it on Wednesday.
Ideally, would you prefer a softer landing spot for Álvarez than 6 games left in the biggest series of the year?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because these are our circumstances. So just going into it with, with what our circumstances are.
Why do you think Ruff's had so much trouble? Why do you think it hasn't worked out for him?
Could be a number of variables. Could be timing. Could be something material in the swing. Could be small sample. Could be a number of things. So that's up to us to uncover, and that's some of the questions that we're asking.
Can you remember a regular season series that had this much riding on it in your career?
Yeah, I'm sure I can.
Which one?
I would imagine there was probably some with Red Sox or the Rays or the Orioles over the years. I'm sure there is.
Do you feel any differently, like in terms of how much you can affect the on-field product when you're in this tight of a race at this point in the year?
You know, what kind of once you pass the trade deadline, you know, some of your ability to enhance a roster becomes limited. So you start feeling that, I guess, on August 4th this year. But yeah, no, I'm just glad we're not facing some rain and we're going to play some baseball. So that's a good thing.
Is it disconcerting to get to this point of the season still not have that righty DH kind of figured out?
I wouldn't say that. So we're, you know, in the circumstance that we're in because, you know, we had an injury. So we'll see how each day goes, but that's it.
What do you think of the righty DH situation?
I think we've had some productivity there at times. It just hasn't been consistent enough right now.
Billy, do you think you have lefty DHs to hit against righties, or is that job open right now as well?
I'd say you take any candidate and you look at it from all angles. So I think Buck and myself are open to anybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Billy.